What if one secret meeting, one forgotten battle, or one bold decision altered the course of the entire United States? From explosive shifts in power to moments that redefine freedom, these aren't just events. They're turning points that built the country you live in today. Stay with us as we count down the 10 historical moments that changed America forever. Some you've heard of, others you definitely haven't. Each one left a mark that still echoes today. If you're new, subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Number 10. A surprise victory that sparked a revolution. In the early hours of May 10, 1775, a small force of American rebels, led by Ethan Allen and Benedict Arnold, launched a surprise attack on Fort Ticonderoga in New York. The British garrison, consisting of about 50 soldiers, was caught off guard and surrendered without a fight. This marked the first offensive victory for American forces in the Revolutionary War. The capture of Fort Ticonderoga provided the Continental Army with a significant cache of artillery, including cannons and other armaments. These weapons were later transported by Colonel Henry Knox to Boston, where they were used to fortify Dorchester Heights and force the British to evacuate the city in March 1776. Strategically located at the confluence of Lake Champlain and Lake George, Fort Ticonderoga controlled a key passageway to Canada. Its capture not only boosted American morale, but also secured a critical route for future military operations. Number 9. The battle that shifted the Pacific War. The Battle of the Coral Sea marked a pivotal moment in the Pacific theater of World War II. Spanning from May 4th to 8th, this engagement was the first naval battle where opposing ships never sighted each other, relying entirely on carrier-based aircraft. Allied forces, primarily from the United States and Australia, successfully thwarted Japan's attempt to capture Port Moresby in New Guinea, a strategic move that would have threatened vital communication lines between Australia and the U.S. While the Allies suffered significant losses, including the sinking of the USS Lexington, the Japanese Navy faced its first major setback. They lost the light carrier Shoho, and their fleet carriers Shokaku and Zuikaku were either damaged or depleted, preventing their participation in the subsequent Battle of Midway. This shift in naval power curtailed Japan's expansionist momentum. Beyond its immediate tactical outcomes, the battle solidified the U.S.-Australia alliance, laying the groundwork for future joint operations in the Pacific. Number 8. An expedition that redefined a nation. The Lewis and Clark expedition commenced its journey on May 14, 1804, from Camp Wood near present-day Hartford, Illinois. Led by Captain Meriwether Lewis and Lieutenant William Clark, the Corps of Discovery embarked on a mission to explore the vast Louisiana Territory and the Pacific Northwest. This undertaking, authorized by President Thomas Jefferson, aimed to gather comprehensive information about the newly acquired lands, including their geography, natural resources, and the Native American tribes inhabiting the region. Over the course of their expedition, the Corps traversed over 8,000 miles, producing invaluable maps and detailed observations of the diverse ecosystems and indigenous cultures they encountered. Their interactions with Native American tribes were pivotal, fostering diplomatic relations and facilitating trade. The expedition's findings significantly contributed to the United States' understanding of its western territories, laying the groundwork for future exploration and settlement. Number 7. A symbol of freedom and hope. The Statue of Liberty, dedicated on October 28, 1886, stands as a powerful emblem of freedom and democracy. Gifted by France to the United States, it was designed by sculptor Frederic Auguste Bartholdi and built with the engineering expertise of Gustave Eiffel. The statue's torch-bearing arm was displayed at the 1876 Philadelphia Centennial Exposition and the head at the 1878 Paris World's Fair to garner support and funding for the project. Completed in France in 1884, the statue was then disassembled, shipped to New York City in 1885, and reassembled on Liberty Island in 1886. Standing in New York Harbor, the statue became the first sight of America for millions of immigrants arriving through nearby Ellis Island between 1892 and 1954. Emma Lazarus's 1883 poem, The New Colossus, inscribed on a plaque at the statue's base in 1903, redefined its meaning, portraying it as the mother of exiles, welcoming the tired and poor seeking refuge. Number 6. The DNA breakthrough that revolutionized justice. In 1987, Tommy Lee Andrews became the first person in the U.S. convicted using DNA evidence, marking a pivotal shift in forensic science. This landmark case established DNA profiling as a reliable method for identifying perpetrators, transforming investigative procedures. Beyond securing convictions, DNA testing has been instrumental in correcting miscarriages of justice. Since 1989, over 375 individuals have been exonerated through DNA evidence, including 21 who were previously on death row. Organizations like the Innocence Project have been at the forefront of these efforts, utilizing DNA analysis to challenge wrongful convictions. The integration of DNA evidence into the legal system has also sparked important discussions about privacy and ethical considerations. As DNA databases expand, concerns about data security and the potential for misuse have become increasingly prominent. Overall, the advent of DNA profiling has not only enhanced the accuracy of criminal investigations, but also reinforced the importance of safeguarding individual rights within the justice system. Number 5. The day American cities burned. A fire at the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory in New York City claimed the lives of 146 garment workers, predominantly young immigrant women. Locked exits and inadequate safety measures trapped many inside, forcing some to leap from windows in a desperate bid to escape. The tragedy ignited public outrage, leading to a wave of labor activism and legislative reform. In its aftermath, New York State enacted over 30 new labor laws addressing fire safety, building access, and working conditions. The disaster also galvanized figures like Frances Perkins, who witnessed the fire and later became the first female U.S. Secretary of Labor, championing workers' rights and safety. The Triangle Fire became a turning point in American labor history, underscoring the necessity of workplace protections and the human cost of neglecting them. Today, fire drills, sprinkler systems, and labor regulations trace their origins to this pivotal event, reminding us that safeguarding workers' lives must always take precedence over profits. Number 4. The strike that shut down America. Over 1,100 Boston police officers walked off the job, demanding better wages, improved working conditions, and the right to unionize. Their strike paralyzed the city, leading to widespread unrest, looting, and the imposition of martial law. Governor Calvin Coolidge called in the National Guard to restore order, and Police Commissioner Edwin Curtis refused to reinstate the officers, replacing them with new recruits. The strike highlighted the tension between workers' rights and public safety, and it had lasting implications for labor relations in the United States. It led to a national backlash against police unionization and contributed to the decline of labor movements in the 1920s. However, it also brought attention to the harsh working conditions faced by public employees and set the stage for future labor reforms. The Boston police strike remains a pivotal moment in American labor history, illustrating the complex interplay between labor rights, public safety, and government authority. Number 3, a landmark in civil rights. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 stands as a monumental achievement in the ongoing pursuit of equality in the United States. Signed into law by President Lyndon B. Johnson, it marked a decisive shift away from institutionalized discrimination. By prohibiting segregation in public spaces and banning employment discrimination based on race, color, religion, gender, or national origin, the act dismantled the legal framework that upheld the Jim Crow system. Its provisions extended to public accommodations, education, and federally funded programs, ensuring that all Americans had access to the same opportunities and services. This legislation empowered federal agencies to enforce civil rights protections, laying the groundwork for future reforms. While the act did not eliminate racism overnight, it provided a legal foundation for challenging discriminatory practices and inspired generations to continue the fight for justice and equality. Today, its legacy endures as a testament to the power of collective action and the enduring struggle for civil rights. Number 2, a battle for freedom that changed the course of equality forever. The U.S. Supreme Court delivered a unanimous verdict in Loving v. Virginia, declaring that state laws prohibiting interracial marriage violated the Constitution. This landmark decision struck down Virginia's Racial Integrity Act, which had criminalized marriages between white individuals and people of color. The case centered on Richard and Mildred Loving, a couple who married in Washington, D.C., but faced arrest upon returning to their home state of Virginia. The court's ruling emphasized that the freedom to marry is a fundamental right, protected by the 14th Amendment's equal protection and due process clauses. It recognized that laws banning interracial marriage were rooted in racial discrimination and had no legitimate purpose. By invalidating such laws, the decision not only affirmed individual liberties, but also marked a significant step toward dismantling institutional racism in the United States. The Loving case remains a pivotal moment in civil rights history, symbolizing the ongoing struggle for equality and justice. Number 1, the day the civil rights movement took a bold new step. On August 28, 1963, over 250,000 individuals convened in Washington, D.C. for the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, a pivotal event in the American civil rights movement. Organized by A. Philip Randolph and Bayard Rustin, the march aimed to address racial inequality, economic injustice, and the lack of voting rights for African Americans. The demonstration was a powerful display of unity and resolve, drawing participants from diverse backgrounds and regions. The march's significance was amplified by the presence of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who delivered his renowned "I Have a Dream" speech from the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. His eloquent words articulated a vision of a nation free from racial prejudice and discrimination, resonating deeply with listeners and viewers alike. The event garnered extensive media coverage, bringing national attention to the urgent need for civil rights reforms. The March on Washington played a crucial role in influencing legislative change, contributing to the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. These landmark laws mark significant strides toward achieving racial equality in the United States. These 10 defining moments have shaped the U.S., propelling it through challenges and triumphs. From moments of innovation to the fight for freedom, these events continue to influence the nation today. If you found this video insightful, like, comment, and share. Don't forget to subscribe for more history-driven content. Your support helps us bring even more powerful stories to light.